This interaction appears perfectly ordinary, two professionals sharing a coffee. But if we look closer, we can see that the man on the left is currently attempting to deceive the person sitting across from him. Most of us are vulnerable in these moments because we focus almost exclusively on spoken words. We treat verbal communication as the primary source of truth, yet it is the easiest tool for the human brain to consciously manipulate. At normal speed, this looks like an agreeable, low-stakes business meeting. Without a framework for analysis, the deception is effectively invisible. When we freeze the frame, the facade begins to crack. Beneath the polite dialogue lies a parallel biological language that broadcasts true intentions through heat, tension, and involuntary movement. By identifying 5 specific biological markers within this silent script, you can systematically decode the hidden motives of any individual you encounter. Analysis begins with establishing the behavioral baseline. You must observe how a person acts when the conversation is neutral and stakes are non-existent. We establish this baseline by measuring specific, consistent metrics. This includes the subject's natural blink rate, usually 15 to 20 times per minute, and their resting posture when they have no reason to be guarded. Once the meeting shifts into a high-stakes negotiation, the baseline changes. This is where we look for micro-expressions. A micro-expression is a fraction of a second flash of suppressed emotion. It occurs when a feeling is so intense that it briefly overrides conscious control, forcing the facial muscles to betray their true state before they can reset their facade. In our cafe scene, the subject's face reveals a sharp flicker of disgust. This happens at the exact same time their mouth is verbally agreeing to a new proposal. This micro-expression would be impossible to identify without knowing the baseline. Together, these cues reveal the first structural fracture in the story they are telling. As the conversation reaches a critical silence, the analytical focus shifts toward the hands. We are looking for pacifying behaviors. These are driven by the limbic system. When internal psychological stress spikes, the body is automatically forced into physical routines designed to soothe the nervous system. Watch the subject in the cafe as the price is mentioned. He reaches back to rub the nape of his neck. This pressure biologically stimulates the vagus nerve, artificially lowering a rising heart rate. The body betrays the speaker through movement, but it also leaks information through the auditory tract. We call this paralanguage. Analyzing paralanguage requires ignoring the meaning of words entirely. Instead, we measure only the pitch, tone, and volume of the speaker's voice. In the recording of our cafe meeting, there is a sudden anomaly. As the subject responds to a direct question, the pitch of his voice spikes while the volume drops, signaling an involuntary loss of confidence. The nervous system will always attempt to self-medicate its own stress. Even with carefully chosen words, the truth leaks out through the hands and the throat. To ensure accuracy, we use a final safeguard, the rule of clusters. Relying on a single cue is a mistake. An itchy nose or a slight stutter can simply be caused by physical discomfort, leading to a false conclusion. A behavioral cluster is 3 or more anomalous reactions occurring in rapid succession. Mapping the cafe scene onto this timeline, the micro-expression, neck rub, and pitch shift all occur within a 3-second window, triggered exactly when the price was mentioned. A single cue may be an accident. However, a dense cluster of biological leaks confirms the speaker's internal reality does not match their spoken narrative. Let's watch that cafe interaction one more time, from the beginning and without pauses. With your perception now trained on these markers, the hidden cues become obvious. You can see the internal conflict playing out in real time. Behavioral analysis is often mistaken for a tool of cynicism. However, the true goal is to develop a deeper, more active form of attention toward the people around us. By looking past the manipulation of words and reading the silent script, you gain the ability to perceive the unspoken fears and desires that others are often too afraid to voice.